أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and hello to all the viewers and dear students. I'm Safiullah Shinwari, and I would like to welcome you to another session of leadership. Previously we discussed our first and second lectures, and this will be our third session on leadership subject. In case if you have missed the first and second lecture, students, so you can go back to my channel and try to recover and study the first and second lectures in order to understand and know in a better way our today's session. So let's proceed and see that what were the topics that we talked about previously, and what are the topics which are going to be discussed in today's session. Dear students, previously I explained the three important topics, which were the importance of leadership. It was like a general importance of leadership. Then secondly, we discussed the importance of leadership from the organizational prospect, that what role leadership plays actually in the success of the organization, and why leadership is important for the organization, and what if organization doesn't have good leadership, so what will be the impact of that not having good leadership on the organizational performances. Then we explained the tips for effective organizational leadership. So let's see that what are the topics which are going to be covered in today's session. We are going to concentrate in discuss examples of leadership within oneself, and secondly we will talk about emotional intelligence for leaders. That leaders, they need to have some emotional intelligence. There are four important components of the emotional intelligence for leaders, which are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and also relationship management or social skills. So let's discuss these topics with examples in further details. At first, dear students, let's talk about the examples of leadership within oneself. We all know the concept that leaders normally they are leading the organizations, they're leading the countries and societies, and leaders are the people that their behaviors, their leadership skills and threats, they are influencing other people, they're motivating other people, and they are inspiring other people to perform the jobs and to achieve the goals which are set by the leaders. But sometimes whenever we hear or we listen that for the leaders it's important to have self-leadership at first. If leaders want to influence others, if leaders want to direct other people towards a set vision or a mission or goals and objectives, so at first it's important, it's crucial for the leaders that they should have self-leadership. While we talk about the word self-leadership, so sometimes it looks very strange for people that actually leaders, so they have leadership skills, they have leadership threats, and they have leadership characteristics and qualities. So then what do you mean by leadership, self-leadership? So the word shouldn't be like confusing for you guys. It shouldn't be strange for you guys. So for the leaders, it's important to have self-leadership. We'll talk about that what is self-leadership. So if you want as a leader to lead others, influence others, and you try to have inspiration for others, and you're just making strategies and setting goals and objectives and vision for other people to achieve. So let's suppose as a leader you just try to put yourself in the position of a follower, and then suppose that why you should follow someone, why you should follow the direction of someone, why you should believe someone, why you should just give importance to someone, right? So these are the questions that as a leader you should ask yourself first. That now you want to lead people. So if you want to lead people, what are your characteristics? What are your qualities? Why the people should follow you? Do you have the self-belief about the behavior of yourself, right? Think about your leadership skills. Think about your leadership style, right? And also think about your influence on others. At first, can you motivate yourself as a leader? You should ask this question from yourself. Secondly, can you inspire and influence yourself? Are you clear in your own goals and visions and missions and objectives? So personally, how do you see yourself, right? That how do you lead yourself? It's quite important. So that's why we say that if you want to be like a better leader, if you want to be like inspirational leader, you want to be like like a very influential leader for others. So first lead yourself. First try to be a person to have influence on yourself. Try to be a person who is very confident and have very great attitude in behavior, and then all your these qualities can impact on other people, and automatically you find followers for yourself. So simply we can say that you should be like a walking example for others if you want to be effective leader. So there is no need to ask people to follow you. Automatically people will come to you, and automatically people will follow you. Like there is a very important paragraph. It says that don't just talk to others about setting goals, personal and professional development, motivation, commitment, implementation, and positive thinking. Make sure that you are doing them yourself first. It means if you're setting goals for your followers that they should achieve them for you, if you want right personal and professional development for others, if you want to motivate others to work to achieve your goals, your targets, if you want others to show commitment in their work, in their performances. So as a leader, first try to ask yourself these questions: that can you set goals? Do you have professional and personal development? Do you have the motivation skills? Can you motivate yourself? Do you have commitment by yourself? So if you think so, then you can lead other people very easily. But if you do not have these traits and these characteristics and these qualities in your personality, so then actually you're not like a leader. It means what? You do not have the leadership qualities. You do not have the leadership characteristics and traits. So that's why we say that if you want to be like a walking example for other people, and if you want to have followers, if you want people to follow you, trust you, believe you, right, and always you want to set goals for them. So first of all, you should just find those qualities in your personality, and then become like a walking example for others. So whenever you lead yourself, and whenever you have the skill to lead yourself, and live with honesty and integrity, and you have the reliability, so automatically the followers will come to you, and people will follow you. So there is no need actually that you ask people to follow me. So there is no effort for you to ask people to follow. Whenever you have like honesty, integrity, and reliability, which are the qualities of a great leaders, so people will definitely come to you, followers will appear to you. But if you are lacking these qualities, you do not have emotional intelligence, you do not have like the self-awareness, you do not have self-belief, and you do not have like strong core values for yourself, so it will make it very difficult for you to become a very good leader, to become effective leader for others, and you cannot simply find followers for yourself. Now let's see again some of the examples. It's very clear that we always believe in, we always study the concepts that leaders, they have the inborn belief, they have all those inborn qualities and characteristics that they can positively influence others, and others believe them, and others are inspired and influenced by their attitude, and always follow their directions. So now, like for example, if you do not have the quality of a great leader, you are kind of disorganized person. You do not perform even your own activities properly. You always blames others for failures. You are not like a proper and a very effective communicator. Your behavior is not that great with people. You do not contribute. You do not lead from the front. So if you have like these negative characteristics, so followers will never look after you, and followers even will not be influenced and not be inspired by you. So therefore we say that create those qualities within yourself, lead yourself first, try to have integrity, honesty, try to have core values, try to have the quality to inspire other, be a very proper communicator. So if you have these great qualities, so you will definitely find followers for yourself. So our next topic is emotional intelligence for the leaders. It's very important for the leaders, that they should have the skill of emotional intelligence. So what exactly the word emotional intelligence stands for? So we'll talk about that. But let me just tell you that emotional intelligence, or the concept of emotional intelligence for leaders, it's not a new topic, or it's not something new. The businesses, from very long, they know, and they have, the information, and they have the idea that how important, it is for the leaders to have the emotional intelligence, because we know that leaders, they must have some different skills, some different characteristics in order to lead. But if leaders have all threats of leadership, and they do not have the emotional intelligence, so we can say that actually their recipe is not a completed recipe. So let's come and discuss this word, that what exactly the word emotional intelligence is. So we can say that emotional intelligence is simply like a person's or a leader's ability not only to be aware about the emotions of himself or others, but also to realize that what actually the emotions are, and in what are the emotions of others, like the employees, the followers, and the leader should also have the skills and abilities to how manage his emotions towards the employees and followers, and how to manage the emotions of the employees and followers in the best possible way, because if the leader doesn't have the ability and the skills, right, to control his emotions, and also does not respect the emotions of the employees, it will have very negative impact on the performances of the employees. Later on, we will talk about that what will be the negative impact of not controlling the emotional intelligence of the leaders on the employees in their performances. But as I said before, that the concept of emotional intelligence is not a new concept. Actually, it is being used in 1990s. So one of the scholar by the name of Goldman, he published even a book about the emotional intelligence. So in conclusion, we can say that it just simply suggests that the leaders should have proper interactions, and the leaders should know about the importance of relations, how to manage the relations with the employees, and as well the leader should have the skills and abilities to manage both social environments and business environments in the best way, and also the leader should have the ability and skills to have control on his emotion, whenever if he is feeling stress, anxiety, or just going under uncertain situations. So this is this should be the quality of a leader, to interact in a very positive way with the employees, and do not let the negative emotions and do not show a negative emotion, and also avoid the impact of emotions, a negative impact of emotion on the employees. So we will talk that actually the leaders, they should identify first their emotion, and as well as the emotions of others, and then they try to use the emotions in a positive way to affect the performances of the employees in a positive way, because the research in the study shows that there is a very strong and significant relation between the emotional intelligence of the leaders and also the performances of the employees. If you as a leader do not control your stress and emotions, and you do not have control on your feelings, and you do not calm down yourself, so definitely it will be difficult for you to communicate effectively and positively. And as a leader, you won't be able to direct and just envision or give a vision to your employees and followers. So as a leader, you won't be able to face challenges and overcome these challenges. So basically, emotional intelligence will have then like a very negative impact if you do not control it as a leader on the job performances of the employees, on the physical health of you as a leader, and also on the physical health of the employees, because whenever a leader gets emotional and he doesn't control his emotion, so definitely he won't be able to show a good direction to the employees. If his interaction with the employees is very serious, very negative, so the employees won't be able to ask for directions, and the employees will just have like a very low motivation. And of course low motivation needs the employees towards non-productivity or low productivity. So the organizations, they should look after this issue in the leaders, they always should work on their emotional aspects. It has like some components which will be discussed later on. دیگه ضروریستن برا که یا باید ایموشنال انتلیجنس که است منیجمنت زیرا به شکل خوبتر کنن تا که این لیدرشپ زیرا که هستن بالای پرفورمنس امپلویز، بالای فیزیکال هلت امپلویز و فیزیکال هلت خودشان، بالای ریلیشنشان، سوشال ریلیشن و فارمال ریلیشن و بالای منتل هلت که است تاثیرات بسیار منفی داره. قسمی که شما در سلاید میبینین we say that an organization is made up of people, and when people are involved emotions automatically come into play. In these days it's more important that the organizations around the world they are very diversified. این خود درست است که organizations که از همیشه combination یا مجموعه افراد می باشه و زمانی که افراد گرد هم میآیند and they work together in one place under one ceiling and they have like common goals. And also they are working for those goals, for those objectives and visions. نو زمانی که در اداره مردم گرد هم میآید اونجا emotions که است او involve میشه and you know that all people they do not have same vision, they do not have same way of thinking, and also they do not have same capabilities and skills and abilities. Some people may have better control on their emotions, some people do not. Some people show it in their relations. Some people whenever they get sad or whenever they get depressed and they feel anxiety, automatically it just plays a kind of negative role. So in the workplace is not different. So it would be unwise to assume that a workplace is all objective, no emotion, only performance, kind of packed room. یعنی این غلط است. جایی که ما کار میکنیم، ساحه که ما کار میکنیم، در اونجا تنها ابجکتیویتی نیستن که ما یک ابجکتیو داریم و پشت اهداف اداره و پشت اهداف خود که هستن ما پیش میریم. نه خیر، در اونجا سبجکتیویتی هم میباشه. یعنی سبجکتیولی مردم که از خود ایموشنز داره که به یک نفر برمیگرده. دیگه اگه ما ایموشنز امپلوی خود، کارمنده خود، فالوورز خود مد نظر نگیریم، این که سر پرفورمنس واقعا تاثیر داره و زمانی که پرفورمنس واقعا متاثر میشه اتوماتیکلی سر اورال ارگانایزیشن واقعا یک نوع تاثیر create میکنه. So we can say that these emotions actually they can be like a motivator factor and also a demotivator factor for the employees. If you just as a leader have very good interaction and always you show very positive emotions, you respect your employees, you always motivate them, you always encourage them and just show honesty and credibility to them, so definitely they will be motivated. But if you just talk them negatively, or you as a leader show very negative emotions to them, so you will just demotivate them. So whenever employees are motivated, there will be like a huge difference in their performances, and whenever employee performances are getting better, so organization as a unit is doing very efficiently. So that's why we say that there is a very strong correlation between emotional intelligence plus employee performances. So I would say that the leaders they should just look for this topic, and they should consider the emotional intelligence quite a serious matter if they want their employees and followers to do better. So it says that the current times are very dynamic, not just economically but also socially. Yeah, of course, we are living in 21st century. Definitely things are changing very rapidly. There is fluctuation, and there are lots of changes. Even changes occur in our social context and also in our economical context. So globally changes are occurring very rapidly. Everything is changing here and there. So in these changes can occur due to globalization and also due to other factors. So whenever the changes are occurring, these changes have impact on our social life and also on our business life. So for the leader, it's quite important that they should just through their emotional intelligence reduce the negative impact of these changes on our followers and on our employees. We can give a very good and clear example. In the past, the organizations weren't that much diversified as they are today. If you see even in Afghanistan, there are many organizations where different people from different ethnics, from different countries, they're coming together and working. So there is a very diversified working environment. So it needs like a very special skill in leaders. They should have those skills in order to manage, in order to lead this kind of diversified organizations. So as I said before, that we live at the time where diversification is quite a lot. The organizations they are combined from people that they come from different places, they speak different languages, and they have different norms, rules, values, different cultures and different attitudes. So as a leader, it's important for the leader to have the emotional intelligence and use them in a good sense, and to have the ability to recognize the feelings and emotions of all the employees and workers from different cultures and from different attitudes, and manage them in a very proper way. So one of the scholars, as I said before, Goldman, he suggested that there are 4 important components of the emotional intelligence which are quite important for the leaders to work on them, and to have those skills and improve those skills in order to lead a team, in order to lead the people in a very effective and efficient way. So let's discuss what are those 4 components. The first one is self-awareness. A leader should have self-awareness. What is exactly the word self-awareness? We'll discuss it. Self-management, the leader should have self-management. Social awareness, the leader must have besides self-awareness, social awareness. And also the leader must know how to build relationship, and also how to manage the relationship, and also have to have the social skills. So let's discuss all these elements in further details. So the picture on the screen, you can see it clearly suggests something to us, that self-awareness, you need to be aware of yourself, your skills, your abilities, your own values, your integrity, your honesty, who you are. This picture suggests very simply to us and ask a question, that who you are and who am I. So once you understand yourself, and once you know about yourself, that who you are, what skills and abilities you carry, what sort of leadership skills you have, so then definitely you can help others, you can influence and inspire others. So let's discuss self-awareness and see some points which are included in self-awareness. So self-awareness means that you should recognize your own emotions. So as a leader, the first thing you need to do, identify, recognize your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. So whenever you're sad, you're depressed, and you're feeling anxious, and you suffer anxiety, so how these problems and how these emotions, I should say, affect your thoughts and your behavior as a leader first. So once you understand and realize that, then you can just try to put yourself in the shoes of your employees, that if they feel anxiety, pressure, or if they feel any sort of uncertain situations, so what will be the effect of those emotions on them. Your strengths and weaknesses as a leader is very important, to know about yourself, and yourself, or awareness of yourself means to know about your weaknesses, your strengths, and also self-confidence, which is very important for everybody, but especially it's important for the leaders. So in self-awareness, there are lots of other points to be discussed, like communication styles. So as a leader, you should know that what's your communication style. Either you believe in direct communication, either you believe in structured communication, either you believe in indirect communication, unstructured communication, either you communicate quite friendly with people, you are quite serious in your communication. So it's better for you that you should have a better view of yourself. یعنی در قدم اول این مهم هستن که شما باید امرای خود فکر کنین، خود بشناسین که مستایل کمیونیکیشن شما چیستن، چی نوع می باشه. وقتی که شما خود بشناسین و تاثیرات کمیونیکیشن تان که است، او را شما امرای خود ایمیجین کنین که بالای شما چی نوع می باشه. And this is a very critical topic these days. You can see many employees around the world or in different organizations. So whenever they don't have communication skill, either they do not perform well, or either they are rejected. So as a leader, it's quite important because you are leading people. If you are not clear in your communication, if you cannot communicate properly the goals and objectives of the organization to your employees, so अगर شما به شکل خوب که تمام اصول مقررات یک اداره را که بشکل بهترش که هستن به امپلویز رساندن میتونین یا با که هستن بهتر کمیونیکیشن کردن میتونین. ای بالکل تاثیرات داره بالای ریلیشن یک لیدر و بالای ریلیشن که امرای امپلویز داره. So the leader must look for this point. If they do not have, they should build it. If they have, they should identify that what sort of leadership skill do they have. The next point is, the leadership styles. As we know that in the study of the leaderships, we can find that there are different leadership styles. Some leaders, they prefer to be very autocratic. Some are, very democratic. And some leadership styles could be very friendly. It's better for the leader to understand that what leadership style he prefers, and does his leadership style suit and match the maturity of the employees and also the situations. So what will be the impact of the leadership style of a leader on his followers? The next point, that's influence. So a leader first should know that whether he can influence himself or herself or not. So if he or she cannot influence himself or herself, so how can you influence your followers to follow you? So it's better that you have the skills to influence yourself and then influence others to follow you and to follow the directions and follow the objectives that you set for them. Managing stress, which is also a very important point of self-awareness. That as a leader, how you manage stress while you are in stress, how you manage that situation. Because if you are in stress as a leader, so it will impact on your relationship with your employees. Whenever you are feeling stress and anxiety, so that time you may not make very good decisions. Your relationship with your employees will not be great, and it will eventually affect your employee performances. So how good you are at managing your stress. Trustworthiness, that it's crucial as a leader, that how much trustworthiness you have and how the people should trust you. So first, it's important for you that how you trust yourself. Do you trust your abilities? Do you trust your confidence and skills? If you do, so then you can show that in your personality, in your leadership style to people, that people should also trust you. Core values. So as a leader, do you have some core values? If they are, so you need to define them for yourself. What are your core values? If you don't have like a very clear vision, you do not have clear values for yourself, what do you want to achieve? So how can you lead a team? Because as a leader, if you don't know the way, so can you show a way to others? Of course not. So that's why we say that you must know about your core values. In trust, it's important as a leader. So what are you interested in? What do you want to achieve? What are you following? So what are you looking for to achieve? So that's quite important. If your interest is not clear to you, and you have kind of a very ambiguous interest, very unclear interest you have, so you cannot communicate your interest to your followers. Skills. So try to evaluate and assess yourself and ask yourself questions as a leader, that what sort of skills you have and what sort of skills you don't have as a leader, which you need to improve. So once you answer yourself and once you know about your skills and abilities, then you can use them in a very great way, and you can use your skills and abilities to manage your followers and people. Creativity, how creative you are as a leader. And a leader must be creative, because this is big difference between the manager and leader. Leaders are always innovators. They are always creative. They come up with different ideas. They always have different solutions. They see things from a very different angle. So that's why we say that you need to be very creative. Your creativity will have impact on your employees and on your followers. So concepts, what sort of concepts you carry with yourself. So you need to know about your own concepts first. What do you believe in? So once you know about your concepts and about your beliefs, so then you can easily communicate them to your followers. Decision-making skill, which is very important for all the managers, for all the individuals, in their social life as well in their business life. But for the leader, it's very crucial, because we always know that leader is the ultimate person that who makes the call, who makes the decision. So as a leader, you may ask for views and opinions and suggestions of your followers, but as a leader, you are the last person, you are the final person to make decisions, and your decisions will impact your whole group. So if you have great leadership skills and great decision making abilities and skills, and you make great decisions, so it will have a very positive impact on your employees. But as a leader, if you cannot make sound decisions and you cannot make proper decisions, because you do not have the skills to make very great decision, or even you are not a decisive person, یعنی د تصمیم گرفتنت کس فیصله کن نیستی، نمیتونی به تصمیم بگیری دیگه. این سری فالوورزتون کس تاثیر داره. Personality type, which is really important, that what is your personality type, and your leadership style. So these two things do these things match the environment, do they match the personality of your employees, and do they match the maturity level of your employees. So all these points are included in self-awareness. So these are very important and significant points that a leader should evaluate himself or herself based on these points. So once you get self-awareness, then you can move on and see other emotional intelligence skills. The next emotional intelligence skills for the leader is self-management. And self-management is also very crucial, very significant skill for the leaders. It can be developed as well if you don't have it, so you can just develop it. Because you as a leader, you manage everything. You as a leader, set the policies, the goals and objectives, the long-term and short-term goals of the organizations. You as a manager, as a leader, manage and use all the resources. So you have to have the special skill of management, and you should first know about your self-management, how you manage yourself. Like in impulse control, I'm in charge of my emotions and actions. Whenever you are in bad situation, personally as a leader, if you have emotions and actions, so first as a leader, how do you manage your emotions and your actions? You need to answer this question. Stress management, whenever as a leader you feel stress, you feel anxiety and pressure, so how do you realize it, how do you identify it, and then how do you deal with that situation, how do you manage it, and how do you overcome on your stress? Self-discipline, right? It's important. If as a leader you do not have self-discipline, and you do not believe in self-discipline, so how can you create discipline in your group? And we know that discipline is very important in management. So as a leader, try to have self discipline. Goal setting. So we know that in organizations there are two types of goal: long-term and short-term goal. So as a leader, you must have the ability and capability that how you set goals personally. Even first, how do you set goals for yourself? Then if you know how to set goals, then you can just set goals for the organization. Motivation, how do you motivate people? First of all, how do you motivate yourself? If you know about your self motivation, you can manage the motivation factor, then you can motivate others as well. So let's have some more discussion about self management. You are able to control your impulsive feelings and behaviors. We know that everybody is responsible for his and her behaviors, but sometimes our behaviors leave impact on others. So if we have great attitude in behavior, so it will have great impact on others. But if we have bad attitude, negative attitude, it will have negative impact on others. So as a leader, then your impact will be definitely there, because under your shadow as a leader, your followers are always there. Your shadow means your behavior is just like a shadow for your employees. So therefore we say that you need to have a proper behavior, proper attitude, and also have the feelings, that how to identify the emotions of others and how to manage them in a very healthy way. As a leader personally, how do you take initiative, and how strong and committed person you are, and how do you act and react to the changing environment in business context or also in social contexts. The next is the social awareness. We know that as a human being, we live in societies. So whenever we are in societies, so we have social interactions, and we have social communications, and we have social relations with people. So as a leader, you must have the empathy. You can understand the emotion, needs, and concerns of other people. If you do not know about them, so how do you lead a group of people? So why the people should lead, should follow you, and why you should lead them? So there is like a very important relation between people in a leader. And leader can do nothing without the support of the people. So people always play a very crucial role, and they follow the leader. So as a leader, you should understand about their emotions, about their needs, what they need, what are their concerns. So if you don't do that, it will have very negative impact on your employees. ما بعضی وقت میبینیم در بعضی ادارات اگر شما دیده باشین، بعضی امپلوی ما که هستن مشکلات پیدا میکنه، مشکلات فامیلی داشته می باشه، خفه می باشه، لیکن در ادارات که هستن منیجرز و لیدرز که هستن در قصهشان نمی باشه و هیچ برشان که هستن ارزش و ولیو نمیده. چرا که همیشه بعضی لیدرز که نگاتیو پوینتشان اینمی می باشه که همیشه یا که هستن پرفورمنس اورینتد می باشه، همیشه یا که از کدام ست گولز که می باشه و کدام اهدافی که ست کرده طرف اونموا که هستن فالوورز خدا موتیویت میکنه که بره. لیکن این فالوورز که میخواد بر شما که از اهدافتان اچیو کنه، در این وقت که هستن یا بسیار مهم هستن. اگر یا کدام تشویش داره، کدام مشکل داره، کدام ضرورت داره، شما از لیدر که هستن باید او را اولیت بتین، او را پرایورتی بتین. اول مشکل واره که حل کنین، زمانی که مشکل و حل میشه و relax میشه، they feel comfortably, so then after that they can work for achieving your goals and also the goals of the organizations and also the individual goals of the group. So we can say that in social contexts we should respect others, respect your team members, your followers. Consider others. It means consider your followers, your employees. Consider their needs, their wants, their emotions, and their demands. Ask if others are okay. So you should know about your followers, that how are they, how about their families, how do they feel. So in case of difficult situations, you should help them. As a leader, you should not be judgmental. Don't judge people for what they do. So try to ignore. This is the difference that between managers and leaders. Managers, they usually manage things very curiously. They always try to have their eyes on things and on the performances of the people. If they do something wrong, so they always punish their employees. But as a leader, you shouldn't be judgmental. You should ignore things. Do not blame. We have two words, I and we. So managers, they always give like kind of credit to themselves, and they say that I did it. But if there is like a problem, like a mistake or like a failure, so then they say that like they blame the managers, they blame the followers, the people, and also the employees. लेकिन ये तफावत बाय द लीडर्स बाशा अगर ज़माने की टीम को हम गलती में कना लीडर बाय बोगे कि इरा मकदम the leader should use the word I, that I did this mistake, it's because of me. But in case if the team does well, right, and performs something better, so in this case the leader shouldn't give credit to himself and say that I did it or it's because of me. No, the leader should use the word we, that it's because of we, that we did it. Showing great understanding. A leader should always have great understanding of all situations, performances of the employees, and also about the changing environment of business and social contexts. در اینجا بیاین که یک مثال ما شما ببینیم در حالت سوشال اورننس. ما که میگیم که باید لیدر سوشال اورننس داشته باشه، یک مثال بسیار خوب است. Serena is the CEO of a busy company. یکی از دختر خانم هستن که و CEO هستن، چیف اگزیکیتیو کیس از یک کمپانی می باشه. The day of her staff meeting, so she charged into the room with a strong agenda. خب یک روز یا میتینگ دارن و میرن با یک اجنده بسیار قوی که سر باید تمام میتینگ ممبرز بحث کنن. So ready to get down to the business. Immediately Egina noticed that that something was very wrong. خب امی سی او کس او نوتیس میکنه، میبینه که کدام مشکل هستن در اونجا و مشکلشون چی بود که در اونجا یکی از کارمندایی که هستن و کدام مشکل داشتن، کدام دیفیکالتی داشتن. چرا که ما قبلا گفتیم که لیدر باید همیشه دیفیکالتی یا نید امپلوی خود که هست خود باید مد نظر بگیره. دیگه ای دختر خانم که مثال در ساحه میتینگ داخل میشه، بجای اینکه پرایورتی بده به میتینگ به اجندا مستقیما که هستن طرف زو میره. Instead of pushing on with her agenda, Gina is paused to ask for feedback from the others. She learned of some issues in company, made some management changes, and when the meeting concluded, everyone felt heard and supported. Gina showed strong social awareness in her actions. دیگه اول مشکلی همون کارمند خود حل میکنه و بعد از اینکه مشکل کارمندش که حل میشه یا که از با میتینگ خود ادامه میده. دیگه از این خاطر ما میگیم که لیدر باید همیشه یک سوشال اورننس داشته باشه، مشکلات جامعه، مشکلات مردم، مشکلات فالوورز خود که مد نظر بگیره. که فعلا ما شما مثال بهتره که در مملکت خود میبینیم دادا میتونیم که رهبرای ما شما که هستن و لیدرز ما شما که هستن از این اسکلایی که ما سرشان بحث میکنیم یا سر از ایموشنال اینتلیجنس که ما زیر بحث قرار دادیم این نقاط نداره. یعنی لیدرای ما شما که ببینیم سلف منیجمنت خود اول نداره، که سلف منیجمنت چی می باشه، سلف اوورنس خود نداره، سوشال اوورنس خود شما بالکل دیده نمیتونین. شما اگه کرنتلی ببینین کدام لیدر است در مملکت ما شما در افغانستان که او مثال سوشال اوورنس نشان میده، با مشکلات جامعه، با مشکلات مردم ما که است توجه بده. بیروزگاری در مملکت ما خوب زیاد هستن، مشکلات اقتصادی و امنیتی در مملکت ما شما بسویت زیاد است. یعنی این چیزا که هستن تمامش در سوشال اورنس میاد، لیکن رهبرای ما که هستن برای کدام توجه نمیکنه که یک مثال بسیار زنده می باشه. برای که هستن اولیتشان که است او یعنی مفادات خودشان می باشه، بزنسز خودشان می باشه، فامیلای خودشان که هستن در اولیت قرار داره و سوشال اورنس که است یا نداره. So they should learn that as a leader it's very important for them to have social awareness. The last one, that's relationship management. You know how to develop and maintain good relations as a leader. It's quite important. چرا که لیدرز ما قبلا هم گفتیم که بدون حمایه مردم، بدون سپورت مردم و بدون پرفورمنس مردم که هستن نمیتونن که اهداف خود اچیو کنن. دیگه با لیدرز این مهم هستن که باید امرای مردم که است ریلیشنشپ چه قسم کرییت کنه و او ریلیشنشپ که است چه قسم باید مینتین کنه، کمیونیکیشن پالیسیشن چه قسم می باشه، چه قسم میتونه که کارمندای خود و امپلویز خود که است واره انسپایر کنه، اینفلوئنس کنه و واره به صفت یک تیم که است ارگانایز کنه و در بینشان که کدام مشکلات می باشه واره حل کنه و طرف یک گول واره دایرکت کنه، موتیویت کنه تا که اهدافشان که است اچیو شه. Thank you for your time. خدا کنه که لکچر امروزی را شما فهمیده باشین. در صورتی که اگر کدام سوال داشته باشین شما میتونین که او را در گروپ واتساپتون مسیج کنین و یا ایمیل کنین برای من. انشالله من براتون که جواباتشان میدم. Thank you and bye.